Hi, and thank you for joining me. This is a strong flow sequence and I hope you like it, so let's just get on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on our mats, easy cross-leg pose. I'm not expecting you or asking you to do lotus or anything like that. If you're advanced and you want to sit in that position and you're used to it, then feel free. But we're just going to do easy cross-leg, like you're back in primary school in assembly. Just nice and comfortable, as long as all your sit bones are on your mat, nice secure base. So this is how we're going to start today. So we're just going to do a little bit of seated mobilisation. So we're going to start with our left hand on the mat next to us, and we're going to bring our right hand up, inhaling as we go up, and then we're just going to bend to the left towards your left hand. Not too much force for the first one round, and then coming back up to the middle, and then replacing that hand onto the floor, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So just inhaling brings you up, and exhaling brings you down. Meet back in the middle, and we're just going to do it one more time, just the same as what we've done. Inhaling brings you up, nice tall spine, and exhaling takes you down to the side, and then coming back up, replacing that hand. Inhaling brings you up, nice straight spine, and then bending to the other side, and then we're going to meet back in the middle here. And we're going to do the same again, but we're going to take it just a little bit further. So instead of our hand being on the mat, we're going to aim for our forearm to reach the mat. If you can't do that, you have lower back pain or your body is just not allowing today, try it again in the future. But today, don't force it, listen to your body and just stay with the first way that we did it. So for this time, we're going to ascend again. So inhale brings us up. We're just going to fold a little bit deeper so that our forearm touches the mat, and then we're going to look up past our armpit if we can. Feeling that nice stretch along the right side, and then coming back into seated, and then doing the same again. So inhale brings us up, nice straight spine. Exhale helps us into that bend, forearm on the mat, and then just looking up to the ceiling past your armpit, and then just coming back up. Seated. It's a nice gentle opening there. So now we're just going to release our neck a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do is hands on our knees. I'm just going to start by ear to left shoulder. Just stay here for a few breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. Try and keep that throughout the practice if you can. Obviously, if you start to feel a little bit dizzy and you do need to breathe out through the mouth, then obviously do that. But where you can and where you remember, even I need to be reminded sometimes, is in through the nose, out through the nose, and then back up into the middle, and then right ear, right shoulder. Just stay there for a few breaths. Aim for 3. And back up to the middle, and then one more time on both sides. And again, don't strain. If you feel any aches, pains, or you're feeling a little bit stiff in the neck today, then don't force it. And then back up to the middle, and then one more on the other side. And then back up to the middle. So now what I'd like to do, if you can, is to get your hands and clasp behind your back. So just clasp, and then just opening up those shoulders, and then just coming forward just slightly. And if you can't clasp your hands, or your hands don't reach behind you, then just put them just behind your lower back like that, and then just as if you're pushing yourself forward. So whichever way works for you, just go with that. And then just come in gently back up, and then just doing that one more time. So whatever way, whatever it looks like for you, however high or low you can go. And just gently coming back up. Okay, so one more move on the mat. So we're going to start with our left leg out to the left, and we're going to have our right foot into the left thigh. Okay, just flatten that into the thigh if you can. Keeping those toes activated, so that means just keeping them pointed to the ceiling just to protect your knee joint. And then just turning your sit bones and your hips to point towards your left foot, and and then you're just going to really gently walk your hands to fold, going as far as your body will allow today. And some of you may find you need a gentle slight bend in that knee, so if you need to do that, that's fine, and your chest can just rest on your thigh. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible today, then keeping that leg straight, the toes activated, and then just folding over that leg. Just enjoy that stretch for a few breaths there in the thigh. And then just walking yourself back up to seated, and then swapping over legs. So the right leg's coming out to the side. Your left foot is pushing into that thigh. You're going to turn to face it. Your right foot. It's a little bit like the stretch you do, again, at primary school, PE. They tell you to, it's the end of the PE lesson when they're getting you to do these moves. So we're going to just step our hands out towards our toes. And again, if you do need a micro bend in that knee, that's absolutely fine. Some days you'll find you can do it, other days you'll find you need to have a knee bend. So wherever you find yourself, just breathe into that stretch. And then just using your hands to just safely get you out of that way. Okay, so now we're going to meet in tabletop on our mats. Okay, so just making sure we're in a correct position first. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable, so no discomfort, no aches and pains, hopefully. So what we want is our hands to be really spread like starfish on our mats. That is pivotal for your balance. Okay, we want our knees hip width apart, the backs of our feet flat on the mat. Okay, so it's a nice good grounding. So we're going to do some cats and cows just to warm up our lower back, just to wake everything up a little bit, and it's easing us gently into some more challenging moves shortly. So we're going to start with our cow, so just dropping that navel to the mat, gaze into the horizon, keeping that neck natural, pushing that mat away from us, and then pushing the mat even further away from us for this one, and that is just rounding those shoulders, rounding that spine, and then navel to spine, so you've got that nice curve in the back for your cow, and then back into your cat. So you just feel that nice curve of your body, the lovely shape that your body makes when it's transitioning from cat to cow. I'm just going to do one more of each, one more cat, one more cow. So navel to floor, fingers nice and wide, no stress or tension in the neck, just keep that nice and natural. And then pushing that mat away from you, rounding those shoulders. And then just coming back to natural tabletop. Okay, so now we're going to find ourselves in downward facing dog. So if you just nice and slowly in your own time come into this position. Okay, so we're aiming for our ankles to be meeting the mat. They won't necessarily touch the mat, because I don't actually. I mean, people are different. Some people go straight to flat feet on the mat. Some people never do. So it's whatever's most comfortable for you. Okay, and just pushing that the buttocks up. Again, keeping the neck neutral. Cup. Don't do that bit. Okay, right, so downward facing dog. Keeping the neck natural. So no tension or pressure there. And then when you're ready, I just want you to paddle out those legs. Okay? So starting on any side. Paddling out is really good for the lower leg, especially if you do any other sports or exercising, particularly running. This is a wonderful move for runners, especially if you get tight muscles in the lower leg, and I know that I definitely do, so this is a really nice move. And then when you've done your paddling, I'm just going to ask you to raise your right leg to the ceiling, and then when you're there, just bend that knee and roll open the ankle. Just do a few ways one way and same the other way. And then just gently outstretching that leg and replacing onto the mat. Do the same on the other side. So three-legged dog. Now for some of you it may just look like this. Some of you it may be higher. So wherever is most comfortable for you, don't press yourself to get it really high. It will take a few goes, and you know you will get there if you persevere. And just bending that knee and rolling open the ankles again. A few times on one side, same on the other. And then just outstretching that leg and replacing it down to the mat into your downward facing dog. So now what we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet up to meet our hands. So we find ourselves in forward fold. Now for some of you, you may be able to have your legs nice and straight and your hands will just be on the mat, on your shins, on top of your feet. So wherever you find your hands, that is fine. If you do feel any pressure or pain or discomfort in the lower back, then do a nice deep bend in those knees, and your chest can rest on your thighs. You've got a lot more support and you can bend a lot deeper, more comfortably. So however you're finding that, then go with what your body wants today. And then we're just going to slowly walk our hands up our bodies, up into standing. So we'll do this nice and slow because we've been upside down, so we don't want to suddenly feel really dizzy. So just take a few moments, take some nice breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And then when you're ready, we're going to raise our arms up into mountain pose. And then when we're here, we're just going to have a mini back bend. And then just bringing our arms down into natural. Okay, so I've got three poses for you today. They're all about core balance, and they're all standing. And the third one is actually quite tricky and I haven't quite mastered it, so I'm learning with you. So what we're going to do is a chair pose first. Okay, so it's a nice old favourite which I haven't done for a little while. Okay, so with the chair, if I stand side on for you, you're going to have your feet on the mat, a little bit of space in between the feet if you can. So just to begin with, if we start with our hands on our hips and then just sitting as if someone's putting a chair behind us. So just get used to the sort of thunderbolt shape that our body is going to make here. And then after a little while, if you just put your hands on your thighs, you can feel how hard they're working. Okay, so really good for the thighs, your buttocks, really good for the core. If you're pulling in your lower tummy, then everything is engaged and it's a really good move. So if you want to stay here or stay here, then that's absolutely fine. If we want to progress it a little bit, we're going to sit slightly lower and we're just going to bring our hands up to the sky. Okay, and we're going to take our gaze up to where our hands go. So thinking of that nice shape that our body is making. And if you just want to add a little variation to that, you can put one hand down and then replace it with just the other one. So wherever you find yourself, okay? So you've got here, you have here, and then you can do the moves. That's up to you if you want to add that. It kind of distracts from the tension and the wiggly feeling in your legs to do something, the movement. And then if you can just go a little bit deeper, and then just safely bring yourself out from the pose like that. So this would be a good place to pause the video and just do the chair maybe 2 or 3 times to begin with, and you'll find that you're getting used to it. It really does raise the body temperature as well. So it might not look like much, but it really will feel like you've done something. Okay, so now we're going to do tree. Okay, so again standing. So there's a few variations we can do here. If you've never done it before, I would suggest having your hands on your hips, and then what you're going to do is just going to turn your foot. So we'll start on our right side. So keeping that left foot grounded into the mat, that is absolutely pivotal for your balance. So keeping that left foot grounded, turning that right foot so that the ball of your foot is on the mat and the heel is on your shin. Okay, so that's just a really, really easy beginner's pose, just to get you used to the sort of feeling and your body being slightly off kilter. Okay, and you just keep your hands on your hips and just think, okay, I can breathe into this. And then you might be starting to feel a little bit more confident. So you think, right, I'm going to bring my hands to heart center. And then thinking I might move on a little bit more. So then you just bring in that foot just below the knee, but don't lean on the knee joint. Okay, that's really important that you don't do that. We don't want any pressure on the knee joint. Just below the knee, and then just bring your hands to heart center. And then just get used to that balance. And then when you're feeling really ready, I'm hoping I'm not going to wobble too much today, I haven't done this for a while, is just guiding that foot into the left thigh. Okay, and then when you think you're safe, you're not going to fall over, then just bringing those hands up just above. Or you can have them at heart center, wherever is most comfortable. Okay, and if you really are having balance problems, keep them on the hips. Okay, and I do have a wall behind me, so if you have something you could hold on to, a chair or a wall, just to get used to that motion. So as with everything in yoga, we have to do it on both sides to balance it out. So I'm just going to start with the modified version. So just turn it, grounding that main leg first, so it'll be our right one this time. Okay, and then just putting the ball of the foot on the mat, heel just above the ankle on me. And then we're just going to put our hands on our hips and just get used to that feeling. And like I said, just progress slowly and in your own time. And then just bringing that foot up just below the knee. And then guiding it into the thigh for the full tree pose. Now, a lady I once worked with said when she was teaching her tree poses that trees sway in the wind, so it doesn't matter if you move a little bit, and I quite like that visualisation. So everyone's going to have a little sway and a wibble and a wobble, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then just gently and safely coming out of that pose. And that is really good for thighs, hips, and again, working a lot on the core today. So well done for that, and it really does raise the heat, even though it doesn't look like you're doing much. To someone else looking at you, it looks really easy, but you can feel it's not. Okay, so this is the wild card. Prompted by my sons, they said, yep, give it a go. It is a bird of paradise. Now, I think just the name alone forced my children to make me do this. So, okay, so bird of paradise, again, is quite similar to a tree in that we have to rely on our one grounded leg. Okay, I probably will be using the wall behind me, but we're going to see. So what we're going to end up looking like, so the full pose of bird of paradise is one leg coming out. As you can see, I'm still not 100% with it, and it's putting your hands under your leg and then just getting it as high as what is comfortable and that you can stay reasonably still while doing. Okay, I bet I won't be able to do that on the other side now. That was too still. Okay, so hands under that thigh, keeping those toes activated always, and then just keeping it. So yeah, there we go. I won't be able to do that again. Okay, so what I would suggest to start with is grounding. Let's just say we ground our right leg first, bringing that left leg up, a little bit like what we've done before in our supine poses. Is just getting used to the balance. So if you've got something to hold on behind, then that's great. Just getting used to that feeling of having one leg up and the other one down. So you could just start off with just like this, just holding it up. I'm wobbling now. And then the same on the other side, just holding it up, just getting that grounded foot down and just holding it up like this. So, you know, you will get there. It's just a lot of fun trying to get there. But when you do eventually get there, it's really, really good. Again, for the thighs, for the grounding leg, for the tummy, remembering to activate those muscles in the tummy. And it's just a bit of fun as well. It's keeping things fun, and it's, if you can laugh at yourself, then you're winning. Okay, so I think we've done quite well with that. So we're going to come back down to the mat now, and we're going to do something we call crescent moon. So if we start by putting our right leg out in front of us, it looks a little bit like a box pose. We have our supporting leg behind us. So when you feel confident, we're just going to rise up and just bring our hands above our heads into crescent moon. Okay, this should feel easy after what we've just done. Okay, And now I'm going to ask you to do something called a prayer twist. Now, if you don't want to do that, then that's absolutely fine. So it's bringing our hands to heart center. Now, some of you can just stay here and just work on keeping everything strong. But if you want to take it a little bit further, it's just twisting round to the right. So you're twisting the way the front, whatever front leg you've got out. So that will remind you the way to twist. And it's hooking that left elbow behind the right knee and then just turning behind you. So if you can do this, just stay here for 3 breaths. And then just safely and slowly coming out of that pose. Now, from here, we're going to keep the back leg as it is, but we're going to just straighten the front leg really slowly. And again, just bringing those toes up towards the knee. Just giving that nice stretch here, all along the leg, the buttocks, the thigh. So we've worked them hard in this sequence. And if you can, getting those hands flat on the mat, so take a nice inhale and then exhale will lower you to the mat. If you need a slight bend in this leg, then that's absolutely fine. At any time you need to come out, have a little bend or a jiggle out and then come back into it, and then just do that, sort of go in and out if movement is better for you. If you do have a lot of strain or tension, that actually would be better. But if you can just stay still for a little while like this, then whatever works for you. Okay, and then we're just going to swap legs and do the same on the other side. So this is going to be our supporting leg now. We're going to bring our left leg forward for our crescent moon. So wait until you are feeling secure and balanced, and just bringing our hands above our heads. Just imagine you're bringing your front heel and you want to squeeze it to meet the back knee, and that kind of tightens everything up, ensures that you have good balance. So bringing your hands to heart center. Again, if you want to stay here, then feel free to do so. But if you're feeling a little bit more flexible today and want to challenge yourself, then we're going to turn and twist to the left. So just hooking that left elbow, lifting your right elbow and just hooking it behind your left knee. And just looking as far back behind you as is comfortable. And then when you're ready to come out, just nice and safely. And then same on the other side, we're going to straighten that front leg. Okay, just keeping the toes up. And if you can flatten your hands on the mat, then brilliant. For some of you, it might look like this, so on fingertips. For some of you, I should have said before, you can just stay up. So just work with, it's all, I will find different ways every time I do it. It's just finding what works for you. Okay? And again, if some of you have a little bit of tension and you need to keep moving, keeping mobile, then just keeping that bend and then straighten, bend and straighten. Okay, but you need to be quite sort of frequent moving if you're going to do this. But if you are staying still with me and just breathing into that pose. And then just coming out. On our feet just for a moment. And just taking some breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Just let your body digest everything we've just done. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet on our mats. We're going to lie down on our mats now. And then if you can, if your body will allow, we're going to do full wind pose. So just hugging your knees into your chest. Let's give them a nice big hug. So like a thank you for letting me do what I've just done to you. And just roll a little bit on the mat just to roll your lower back out. And then from this pose, you can put your hands on the mat, well, either side of the mat, sorry, so you're sort of like a crucifix pose. And then you're just going to let your legs drop to one side. So if, like me, you've dropped your legs to the left, we're going to turn our gaze to the right. Just enjoy that stretch in the tummy and the back, even the shoulders. And then really safely and slowly coming out of that and then just dropping into the other side. So whatever way your knees are, your gaze is the opposite. So you know you're doing it right. It's easy to remember in lefts and rights. And then just coming up to the middle. And again, just putting your hands on your knees and just having a little rock out of the lower back. Just massaging any tension. Which brings us to our final Shavasana. So we're just going to lay completely flat on our mat. So let the mat take the whole weight of your body. You're going to feel weightless, like you're floating. So it's melting through your mats. So letting your feet fall open, our palms facing up. You can have your head to one side, the middle, or the other side. If you want a cushion for this, or a block for under your neck, whatever's going to make this comfortable and pleasurable for you. And just close your eyes. And then breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Some say this could be the trickiest pose of them all, because it's getting your mind and your body to go from activity to complete relaxation in a short amount of time, which is actually harder than it seems. And you can stay here for as long as you want, or as little as you want. So you can stay here for 1-2 minutes, or you can just pause the video and stay here for 5 minutes, whatever you feel you need. But when you are ready to come back out of the pose, it's just giving your ankles and toes a little wriggle and a scrunch. Same with your wrists and your fingers. Just bringing life back into the body. A nice early morning stretch if you feel like you need it. And then just bringing your knees up and then turning onto your side. Just lay there just for a couple of breaths. We don't want to rush this, we don't want any dizziness. And then just using supporting hand, just push you up into seated on your mat. So well done. If you have persevered to the end of the video, I thank you for being patient and putting up with me for that long. Okay, just sitting in easy pose and just taking a few nice deep breaths before we re-enter the world again and get on with what we need to get on with. And just bringing our hands to heart center, our nose to fingertips. Namaste. Thank you.